Oi, oi, world-class chat. Big up to every single one of you. Big up to my panel as well. What a weekend. And by the looks of my telly, looks like it just got a little bit better as an extension of the weekend on Monday. Because as you all know in the chat, Manchester United have just lost to Everton after being, well, what were they 10 men down, one man down quite early on.
Minutes,
yeah, it's quite an early red, wasn't it?
Yeah. 12 minutes gone. 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Crazy.
Well, do you know what, boys? I'll absolutely take that. You know, even though, let's face it, we're not worried about Manchester United. But come on, man. They are the rivals, especially I can speak for my age. I grew up and it was all Arsenal v Manchester United. It was all about that. And for me, forever will be. So whether they're first, hopefully not, or whether they're 19th, hopefully, I want to see them lose. It doesn't matter how they do it. I didn't watch the second half, boys, but what was it like? Chat? Boys, I don't know if you watched it.
I was in and out of it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, great defensive display by Everton. Listen, from the time, I think Everton probably had the better chances to be perfectly honest. But yeah, great defensive display. Unfortunately, Gay got sent off for slapping his own player.
I heard about that.
So, that was a bit of a crazy one. But Man United were wasteful. Didn't have their shooting boots on. Yeah, just what at the races. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's all laugh at Man United.
It's nice, isn't it? You know what I mean? To have them sort of weekends. All right, you know, Chelsea won, but they were playing a very, very, very poor team. But yeah, it's not been a bad weekend. You know, it started off on Saturday lunchtime or evening rather, wasn't it? Actually, I think it was the 5:30 kickoff, and it was Newcastle that decided to give us a little cheeky favour and beat Manchester City. We was a little bit, I think on this panel, it might have been on DJB's sit back, but we were a little bit like, if there's going to be a game they drop points, it might be that. And they dropped all three. So I was absolutely buzzing with that. And of course, we done our job. And that's what we'll start off with, Shane. And it's the title, isn't it? EZE WHO. Because the manager, Thomas Frank, had the audacity. He hasn't earned anywhere near enough stripes yet to be lobbing out comments like that. EZE WHO. Midweek.
Unbelievable.
And well, you know, EZE is the same geezer that made your goalie pick the ball out of the net 3 times. That's who. And it was a massive contributor to a cheeky 4-1 win. How did that fucking taste, Senor Frank? Not very nice, I'm assuming. But yeah, man, he stole the show, didn't he, EZE? But there were some other fantastic performances. But what do you reckon of EZE? Do you reckon this could be the actual true welcome to Arsenal? Do you reckon now we can proper kickstart? What's your thoughts, Shane? Or do you reckon it was just a good performance and that's that?
No, he was amazing. He was amazing. I gave him a 10 out of 10. I don't normally, very rare, I'd give someone a 10 out of 10. He was fantastic.
Boy, I'm like, guys.
North London derby and an Arsenal boy coming through. The only thing is, like I did say in my chat this morning, I took a poll to see who genuinely thinks that he won't be either shunted out the left or benched if we have fully fit Odegaard, Royce, and Zubamendi. And about 60% said they do think he'll be moved. So I don't think there's anything he can do to nail down the place. Look, I was saying it to Rashid today. It's amazing to me that I think during the summer on this stream, on my streams, on any stream, I think I said the word double pivot so many times that it's lost all meaning. You know what I mean? I just kept saying, player, not just about EZE, Odegaard, whoever a 10 is, play a 10 properly, like a 10, free roll, and play 2 in a double pivot, whether it's Royce and Zubamendi or Royce and Marino or whoever you want to put in there, Odegaard and Royce, Odegaard and Zubamendi, whoever. Once the 10 is given the play in the middle and you play with a double pivot, if one of them goes, the other one stays, then they do it, right? And all of the guys that spent the start of the season with heat maps and all of this shit to prove to us that Eze's a left winger, turn around and say, hold that. To me, when EZE gets a hat-trick in the position that I wanted him to play. I don't understand how their thinking works. I really don't understand how their thinking works. He did what we wanted him to do, play EZE in a free role. And again, I reiterate, whether it's Odegaard or, God forbid, Havertz playing in the 10, let it be a free role, a proper free role. A 10 should never have to play. It's if you are on the right-hand side of anything, or in any sort of strict position, that's not a 10. It can't be. It defeats the purpose. That's not a 10. So he played what we should have played. EZE was fantastic. And the funny thing is, football is mad like that. I mean, the 3 goals that he scored, Odegaard doesn't score them. Not one of them. Not one of them. They were quick. Take 1 touch, slap it. 2 touch, slap it.
Yeah. Said that to you in the ground, didn't I, D? Yeah.
He caught the keeper by surprise with every shot, right? And then Odegaard takes an extra touch and either loses it or tries a little silly scoop pass or he lays it back. He does not score any of those goals, and not in any time during Odegaard's career with us, including 22, 23 when he was at his best. Does he have a game like that? Does he bang in a hat trick against our rivals when it matters? Never will he step up to the plate like that. Not ever will he. But when he's fully fit, he'll be shunted back in. There is no way he won't. There is no way that he is not getting shunted back into this team. Also, there's no way this manager's dropping Royce or Zubimendi. So people have to accept that Eze will be either pushed out the left, or we have to, again, hope that something goes wrong, which is such an awful way to be. We also have to remember that if this manager doesn't run Havertz into the ground and rush him back, Eze's playing for Tottenham yesterday. We have to accept that as well. He's playing for Tottenham yesterday. If Havertz doesn't pick up that injury, right? Yeah. So we have to remember that. We have to remember that if Havertz hadn't got injured, Gyökeres doesn't start. You know what I mean? We have to remember that if Odegaard hasn't got injured, Eze's probably just cutting a frustrated figure on the bench in that game. Pissed off because what am I doing here? All I'm doing is getting microwave minutes out to the left. Calafiori, I said before the game, and I'll finish on this. I said before the game that if he touches grass, I mean, even from the bench, I don't want to ever hear a top gooner complain about injuries again. I don't want to ever hear injuries as an excuse. He went to Italy with several injuries from Arteta's mouth, several injuries, including a hip injury. He didn't train the week before. He didn't train for the week before the match. 2 weeks, no training. He plays 90 minutes. So if they ever complain about injuries again, I don't want to hear it. No, I don't care if Declan Rice is walking his dog and pulls a hamstring. It's all down to this. I don't want to ever hear the injury excuse ever again, because there was no need for that guy to play. And the second that Eze made it 3-0, 2 minutes into the second half, take off Calafiori, take off Saka, take off Rice. All in one go. Take them all off. Show some care, right? Because we will see that the same 11, I'm sure, maybe one change against Bayern and then the same 11 again against Chelsea. And this is the thing. We could be 10 points clear coming into Christmas and lose 2 or 3 players. It can be overturned. So massive win, right? Massive win. Great weekend. But we can have the opposite weekend next weekend. So again, it's what me and Norm say. Just pump the brakes. Settle the fuck down. We're 6 points clear. People have been 6 points clear at this time of the year. Most seasons, someone is. So just settle down. Let's remember who the manager is. And if we go and beat Chelsea, I don't really care that much about the Bayern game. Rashid asked me today, if he made 5 or 6 changes and lost, would you be mad? Or loses, and would you be mad? I say, no. I'll be more mad if he played the same 11 and drew than if he made 6 changes and lost. Honestly, I would be, because it's a marathon, not a sprint. Well, listen, great performance. Eze was phenomenal. It's just a shame he'll be shunted out the left when the Captain Marvel gets back.
Yeah, now facts. And before I bring Normski in, I just want to say big up to the chat. Don't forget, Vigilante, the absolute geezer, has put everyone's links up. So make sure you sub to the panel. Make sure you smash that like button and put all the notification buttons on and all of that stuff. Let's say hello in here. We got Martin. Hello, mate. How you doing? Let's say big up Aaron in the panel. Still buzzing after that win yesterday. Do you know what? Me too, bruv. Honestly, me too. I'm happy, but I always do this thing, Martin, and everyone's different, and I appreciate that. So obviously, he left the game absolutely buzzing walking out the Emirates. Today, I reflected on it, absolutely buzzing, just like you. Tomorrow, done and dusted. It's finished. Game over. You know, we're still on it. We got another game then would be tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? So whilst, I'm buzzing, I'm happy to live in the moment. I'm happy to reflect on it, look back on the day and go, yeah, man, I'm buzzing. Wind up a couple of me mates at work today. Essentially, there's the time moves on, where the world moves on. There's always another game in it, Martin, bruv. So yeah, that's it. I know you've got the common sense anyway, just like all of us. You're a real one. We then look to Bayern Munich, and guess what? If we beat them 3 or 4-0, we enjoy it when we walk out the stadium or sit at home watching the telly or in the boozer. Then we look back and go, yeah, that was all right yesterday, wasn't it? And then we forget about it because it's Chelsea, and so on and so forth, man. Big up to you, brother. And we've got Sully in the building, man. Long time no see. Can you hear the Tottenham sing? Of course you can't, mate. I can't hear a fucking thing. Go on to Sully. Big up to you, my friend. We got Gavin in the building. How you doing? We're saying big up to everyone, man. We got Quadra in the building, man. I think, is it still your birthday, isn't it? Yeah. Was it
Happy
yesterday or the day before? Happy
No,
birthday, Quad.
Today,
Still is.
today.
Yeah, I'm sure it still is today. We've got Paul Nash in the building. Go on, the geezer. Oh, look, he's doing a Suge. Fuck's sake. Probably means that I'm going to be on the arse end of it again. Brilliant. Big up my man like Normski, the Earl of Essex DJB, the Celtic Colossus Shane, and the Jaeger Bomb youngling, the treacle hunting terror, the bum slapping brute Aaron. I mean, well, to be fair, I'll take that actually. I quite like that. You know, the bum slapping brute. You know, I've got a few slaps in my time. You know, before all this PC stuff come in. You know, I also took a couple of them home. So, you know, I digress. Guna SE, big up to you, brother. Thank you very much for jumping in. Who else we got in the building? We got Binks. Is that Binks in the building? We got Wahahaha in the building. Big up to you, my gears. We got the assembled, and there's, of course, our girl. Yeah, man, Normski.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot to digest in terms of the EZE thing. I know, obviously, I'd asked Shane this bit there. So, one, what do you think about the EZE? And do you think that this could be the real start of his Arsenal career now? Do you think that he's arrived? Do you think he just needed this moment and now he's going to kick on? What do you reckon, bro?
I mean, listen, I would love it to be the start of his year or start of his career. You know, because obviously we've been calling for him to get more involved in the game. And yesterday, what a performance! A proper number 10. You know, free to do what he wanted to do, worked hard, tirelessly hard. It's quite funny because up to the lead up with this, obviously he's been having a lot of interviews, and I don't know if anybody caught. They showed Premier Years, well, not Premier Years. They were showing Dennis Bergkamp's goals, right? And I was just thought, yeah, you know, seeing Dennis Bergkamp and seeing what he done, and a proper attacking 10 that scores goals, something that Odegaard needs to do and learn. Odegaard needs to sit down and watch what that guy did yesterday, right? Because as Shane said, there's no way in God's earth does that guy score goals in big games. This is massive, people. Yeah, to score a hat trick on your North London debut. Yeah, what 46 years the last time this happened. Yeah, forwards 1978, I believe. Right?
Yeah,
by Alan Sunderland. So for me, for him to go and do that, and listen. He said a prayer. You know, I'm a religious man. He said a prayer, and he said, "Look, I'm gonna, you know, score a hat trick today." But you know, there's still people that I'm hearing, watching people online, and they're still saying that, "Oh, you know, he didn't really do much yesterday. You know, he just had his moments and scored his hat trick." And you know, the chances are, and this is the sad thing about it, that they still want to bring Odegaard back in there because they just feel that Odegaard does more in that position. Well, how on earth? And even if Odegaard comes back in, and you know they're saying he'd be better off on the left because that's where he plays his best football. No, it's not. Come on, sorry, that's not where he plays his best football. And at the moment, Trossard is having a game of his life. So what, you're going to drop Trossard out? So it's either he has to work it out, or my guy owes bench because he's not going to drop Trossard at the moment because he's playing well, and he has to have the gonads. He has to have the gonads to keep my guy on Eze on, but we know what's going to happen is that this is what he's going to do. He's going to bring all the players that he wants. You know, I mean, when Havertz is fit, Glock will hold bench or whatever. As I said, when my guy comes back, he's going to have to either hold bench or move out to the left. It's just going to mess up the system. This is the best. You saw a double pivot where he was free to do what he wanted to do, but not only that, he was helping defensively, but he was also creating. Yeah, that first little chance that he had where he scooped the ball over, and you know, either side, Declan Rice, you know, 1-0 up. That's that game put to bed. The first 30 minutes, I would say we was in control of the game. We was in total control of the game. It was, once you get that goal, they came there just to sit back and get a draw. Time wasting right from the very start. It was the worst. It's the worst Tottenham side I've seen in a long time. They didn't offer nothing. And unfortunately, Thomas Frank, you need to shut your mouth about EZE WHO. EZE 3-star hat-trick boy. That's who it is, That's who put 3 goals past you in the shot.
The football gods didn't like him saying that, did they? They punished him for that, didn't they, Norm?
Listen,
they right, I'll give him a smack on the backside for that.
But overall, the game in itself, it was fantastic. You know, the weekend went so perfect for us. You know, Newcastle winning. You know, Liverpool, obviously, now it looks like they're probably out the title race now. And then tonight, you know, even though they're our rivals, they're not in the race, they get beaten by 10 men Everton. So it's been a great week. We move on to the Bayern Munich game, he has to make changes because you cannot afford to run these guys into the ground because we'll just end up back at square one. Yeah, great. Enjoy the moment. Bayern Munich game, we win that. We go and do the business against Chelsea. Then, you know, we're going to start to believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So let's see what happens. I'm buzzing at the moment. Really pleased. But let's move on to the next game and see how we do.
Yeah. And do you know what? Before DJ comes in, go on. Sorry, Shane. What was you going to say?
Sorry, Ireland into the playoffs. Arsenal top and Roma top, man. What a week for me, man. What a blinding week for me.
Do you know what, Shane? Shane, listen,
he's having a belter, isn't he, Shane?
I think it's got to be the luck of the Irish. It's got to be the luck of the Irish.
The luck of the Irish.
Everything's going right.
You know what? I'll wake up tomorrow with a full head of hair now, and then that'll be it, man. I'll be fucking like Homer Simpson just running around.
I mean, that's probably a stretch too far. I mean, that's too many wishes.
Well, I have my mullet coming. I have my mullet coming in the post, so you know
I can't wait for that. Yeah. When you sent me over the photos, and you got two things. I don't know if you said, and I won't say anything else. But I gave it the old double. Oh, friend comes up. Oh, friend. It was good, and I'm very much enjoying. I mean, you could even just say absolutely nothing, and it would be hilarious regardless. But I mean, I know, unlike a lot of other side of the fence YouTubers, you've actually got personality. So I'll be intrigued to see what you kind of do with it, as have we all. Do you know what I mean? We're not too good. You should just book the manager. But yeah, for me, do you know what? That's what you get, Tottenham. And look, like there's some Tottenham fans I think watch the show. I don't know if there's any in here. So I'll be respectful, just like I actually did to my two oldest mates. They're both twins, both Tottenham fans. One of them was at the game yesterday, and we spoke to both of them separately. And I just said to him, I was like, look, I'm not even bantering you now, right? I'm just literally talking. The Arsenal hat is right off. What the fuck was that? Like, I'm sorry, but what on earth was that? I have honestly, and I know my tone will come across like I'm bantering, but I'm not, because I'm putting myself in that shoes. If that was me and my team performances, that is, and I'm saying both sides, that is, since I've been alive and watching football, the worst ever performance a team in the North London Derby has ever produced. That was pathetic. It was embarrassing. I saw the lineup, and we all knew it was negative from there. When you've only got Kudus as your actual attacker that doesn't really track back as much, that's one. They only had one attacker there. Forget Richarlison. He's not shocking. He was being a bastard all game. That's all he was intending on doing. He got the goal, whatever. It's not because of great play. It's because of Zubamendi making mistakes we called out months ago. But you know, like, they didn't do anything. There was no intention. They didn't want it. I've heard just blame the manager with that. And yeah, blame the manager, largely at fault for that. But even the players didn't care. You're on the field. Do you know, if your manager's set up as a stinker and he's really, really thrown you under the bus, there's 11 men out there. There's 11 grown men on that field. Surely one of you goes, yeah, Frank's kind of fucked us up here, isn't he? Yeah, we're just going to do what we're going to do. Someone's got to take charge of it. For 90 minutes, not one of them Tottenham players took charge of it. They just allowed the shit show to carry on. And whilst I enjoyed it thoroughly, like, I was almost just disappointed in myself for getting nervous for the game, because I've never seen a team so gutless, so cowardly, so pathetic, so inept, so scared of going forward, so tactically clueless, so embarrassing. Like, I just thought it was horrendous. Shame on you, Tottenham Hotspur. Shame on you, Thomas Frank, and all of the players that participated in it. Like, you really, really and utterly done yourselves all a disservice. So I just thought it was pathetic from the top to bottom. Like, I'm glad we won 4-1, but I mean, usually form goes out the window with these sort of fixtures. There's usually a battle at some stage. That was just nothing. They just walked out across the white line and then just went, well, for fuck's sake, we got 90 more minutes of this. We'll just get this over and done with, and then we'll go back in the limo. I just thought to myself, wow, you've got some problems over there. That is a massive, massive, massive problem when you're turning up to a North London derby with that kind of attitude, with that kind of performance across the whole board. It weren't 5 players, it was all of them. They were all horrendous in their own right. The manager couldn't have got any more wrong if he tried. I mean, I'm absolutely glad, but from a footballing perspective, I mean, it was just absolutely pathetic. And they got what they deserved. In fact, they didn't get what they deserved. They deserved a 5-0 minimum that day. They actually should be unbelievably grateful for leaving with 4-1. That's probably going to be their best result of the season. That's how shit they were. It was embarrassing. But listen, you know, we got our win and I'm happy. I said to, I think it was Dan Potts, whilst me and DJ was with him in the boozer just before the game, I said to him, I was like, look, if Arsenal can get over the line over Spurs, if they can fall over the line, great, because I know the importance point-wise, because we get that 7-point buffer. But you batter Spurs, you put them to the sword, and all of a sudden you're looking at your next game. I know Champions League, obviously, but I'm in Premier League. You look at the next game, Chelsea are going to be a little bit worried. Chelsea are going to be really pissed off at that performance from Arsenal. You know that, because they've gone, oh, yeah, that might be a tricky game. They're pretty good away from home, Spurs. You know, if they can fall over the line, get a win, get a draw, whatever, we'll beat them. After looking at that, after being, you know, totally ran through, they've got a rampant Arsenal. Well, not rampant, but you get where I'm going with it. They've got them coming at the bridge now. No one wants that. No one wants the team that's top of the league hitting gear when they just come to your gaff. No one wants that, so they wouldn't be too happy. And it breeds confidence for everyone. I'm feeling a little bit more upbeat. Not come back down from the clouds, Aaron. Where have you gone? It was only a 4-1 win against the shittest Tottenham side you've ever seen in your life. But it does breed confidence. Wins breeds confidence. The way you wins, it breeds more confidence. And I was happy all round, overall, fantastic. So Adolf Cheeky 45 or whatever. Why don't you actually, before you make dumbass comments, listen to people what they're going to say before you go on your narrative of oh yeah, just make up some blame. What did I say that was negative? Nothing, absolutely nothing. I thought Arsenal done pretty good. The only thing negative about it was, and you'll love this, Adolf, it was Mikel Arteta's inept rotation of the squad in terms of substitutions and starting lineups. Shane hit the nail on the head. What's Calafiori doing out there? Why is he doing out there? We've got two players, other players that can play left back. What are they doing there? We've got options there. Why is he doing this? And have a little look at this, boys. This is another thing that really frustrated me. And I wanted us to get into this and what I wanted you to sort of say about DJB. You know, we had this lineup. Look at Calafiori. He lasted until the 92nd minute after he's had numerous problems last week on fucking international duty. Hincapié, you know, I'm not saying that he'd have been burnt out, but, you know, he hasn't been given the minutes. So granted, yeah, I'm all right with that 88. Maybe he could have come off and earned it. Fine, I'll take that as a whatever. But Trossard, 78th minute. Maybe that isn't the worst of the two. Mikel Merino, but bringing Nweri on, 88th minute. Why is Declan Rice? Oh, yeah, he's off on the 8th. Oh, no, he stayed on for the full 90 minutes. That's a yellow card. This is our most important player right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here. This guy gets injured. Arsenal are in a massive amount of problems. Because let me tell you, this geezer ain't covering him, and I can guarantee your life if this geezer ain't covering him, this geezer certainly ain't. And if he certainly ain't, one thing I can promise you before than anything, this fucking prick definitely ain't. This Norgard, he definitely ain't. He can't even get a game on when our main player's been run into the ground. So, you know, what's he still on for? Why is this happening? Why are we not making, like Shane rightly said, when we score this goal, when we get that goal and go 4-1 up, why not just make 4 subs? Job done. Why not do what are you protecting at 4-1 up against the team that are petrified of leaving their own half, let alone having an attempt on goal, and you're leaving them on for another 15 minutes? I mean, against as well a bastard Richarlison who would have happily probably broken Saka's leg or some sort. You know what it's like. No. Why are you leaving opportunity for that to happen? So whilst we can sort of say these things like, you know, oh yeah, we can wax lyrical about this performance, be happy about with first place, he's still making such basic mistakes that may not have cost us today, Adolf may not cost us tomorrow, but as we can see, the build-up of fatigue, the build-up of likelihood injuries by statistically playing more means you're statistically more likely to get injured. That's what happens. And we're entering a very, 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 very congested period now where we will start seeing injuries because of fatigue, etc. And we know on the proof of this, when you're 4-0 up against Atletico Madrid and 4-1 up, this manager fucking leaves you on the field for the 92nd minute. What's Ethan going to do on the 92 minutes? He's barely going to warm up his legs for a start. And what kind of rest is the other geezer going to get? Probably ain't. The whistle's blew by the time he's got to his fucking seat. It's poor. DJB, what did you reckon of the whole sort of thing? And then I want to get your specific sort of take about the substitutions as well, because that was the only skid mark of what was a really, really, really good bloody day for Arsenal Football Club. Talk to me, D.
Yeah, it was a great day. EZE got his hat trick. I'm sorry for being late. Actually, my internet went down for some reason. I just couldn't get on. So apologies for being late. Yeah, I mean, look, EZE, really good hat trick. Took his goals really well. Got a free roll. And I was on the stream when Egal was putting his heat maps up. And then I think it was me and you, Aaron, and I was saying, hang on a minute, let's put, and then I put another heat map up, and then I put facts where EZE started. EZE's not a left winger, so somehow he's given the manager a headache now, because if Odegaard comes back, where do we play him? I think you mentioned it yesterday on our channel, Aaron. At home against certain teams, he can experiment a little bit. You don't need two defensive midfield players. He can play Rice, Odegaard, and perhaps EZE in the midfield. Drop Zubamendi, give him a rest. You don't need that kind of holding defensive lineup. You can perhaps experiment a little bit. But look, getting back to Spurs, I've been watching Arsenal North London derbies for many, many years. I can't think of a poorer Spurs performance at the Emirates. I'm not taking nothing away from Arsenal, but on that performance there, I think if they'd have gone to Everton or somewhere like that, they'd have got beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm taking nothing away from Arsenal. We've done the job on them and we played brilliantly. And, the performances were really, really good all around. Zubamendi had his moment, which I've been fearing all along. Good on the ball, good in space, makes things happen, but he's a defensive midfield player. And your first job is to defend in them situations. And I've seen it time and time again where he's fouled. I know it hasn't cost us the game, but if you're chasing the Premiership and that's away at the Etihad and you're 1-1 or you're 1-0 up and you need 3 points and he does that, we're looking at a whole new different kind of conversation. So he has to improve in that area. For him to be an all-round brilliant player that everyone keeps saying he is, and world-class players have got every single area they've got covered. There's no mistakes in them. And unfortunately, he's got a mistake in him defensively. Yeah. So that's got to improve. But on the whole, brilliant performance. I mentioned it yesterday, and I sat in the stand and I was absolutely shocked. Not after 4-1, but after 3-0, that he wasn't making vital substitutions.
Yeah.
I thought 3-0 against a very, very poor Spurs team, even when they got it back to 3-1, they had a little 5-minute spell where we needed legs. It went flat, but they never really looked like troubling us. First thing I said to everyone around me was, right, Rice is coming off now. Chelsea
Calafiori was the big one, DJ.
Get the Rice off. Get the Timber off. Get them off. No, nothing happened.
But sorry, DJ, to cut across. Even when he took a winger off, he took Trossard off and not Saka.
Yeah, exactly.
For Madueke, for an out of position.
So the 3 players that I said, right, let's get the subs off now. Let's get Norgard on. Let's get Madueke on. Take Saka off. Let's get Rice off. Get Calafiori off. In my book, should not have even started because he hadn't trained. Hadn't even trained. Rush back into the team, and then he plays 80 odd minutes. Absolute madness, right? So this is, people will think we're moaning and we're being negative, and I've just been on Leeds beforehand, and that was all positive, and this is all positive. The result's positive, but you still have to look at the in-game management. This is a club with history under this manager with injuries. If you line up in midfield of Norgard, Zubamendi, Madueke, and Trossard on the left, going for a Premiership title and going to Champions League, long term, that is not going to cut it. So your first priority is you get the game won. Now you protect your players. And you protect your key players. You've already lost one in Gabby. You're already 1 down. The last thing you want is Rice to go. And if you get an injury to Timber as well, that's Timber and Rice gone. Now you're looking at a completely different lineup going into the Chelsea game. So that bit for me, I just found really, really frustrating.
It's so avoidable, isn't it, though, DJB?
Yeah,
This is
I
the
just
thing, and it's
don't
so
understand it.
basic.
Don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Do you know what? Just quickly to jump in one more time. Do you know what? Even at the El Capitan of Top Gooners, Tom Canton even called it out on his.
You read my mind. You read my mind.
Yeah. Even Tom Canton called it out.
He called it
legitimately.
Interestingly enough, guys. Sorry to cut in here. Something that me and Shane was talking about. Where I think it was on one of your fan cams, and we were saying that we have to nitpick, right? And that's what he had as his title. I'm just gonna do a little bit of nitpicking. And but what he did to sort of cover himself, he says, "Well, look, it's not that he should have made changes, but if he had taking this guy off, then you can get them prepared for the Bayern Munich game, and you can then get them prepared for the Chelsea game." And I was like, "Wow, Tom Canton saying this." I was like, "Whoa, he's being negative here." You know what I mean? But they're gonna back it. They're gonna back him. But if Shane goes on there and says that, mate, they're going to go for his throat.
I got a rise out of him when he was on Dan's by saying it about the rotation. So they'll address stuff when you call them out on it. Then they'll address it the next week to show that they're impartial. But then they'll go back to being the way they were the next week. I mean, Zippy put up a short today where he credits Arteta with Eze's hat-trick. Credits Arteta with it. Because he's getting used to Arteta's tactics. It's not. This is the first time he's let him play properly as a lone 10. So he's gone against his usual tactics. You know what I mean? So when I called Zippy out on it, he did the usual, just go have a beer and enjoy it. He knows I don't drink. Someone said it to him before. So he always says, go and have a beer,
the
right?
other thing I was going to say, we've got to keep both feet on the ground because we're 6 points clear. Yeah. Chelsea go and do a job on a Sunday, then we're 3 points clear. I can remember feeling like this on a Monday when we beat Man City 5-1. What happened then?
We were shower shit afterwards, weren't we?
What happened then? I remember when we beat Real Madrid. What happened then? So we've been here before, guys. We've been here. This is nothing. We've smashed Tottenham, North London derby, a poor Tottenham team. I don't believe they're that poor. They were just that poor on the day. I think that they're probably a little bit better than that. I just, for some reason or another, they just got it all wrong. And they were really poor. But we've been here before. I remember coming out the ground and everyone jumping around when we beat Man City 5-1. And then after that, things started to change. So it is still early days. Let's not look at the league table until around about end of January, February, and then see where we are. I mean, I was speaking to Dan. Dan says that if we beat Spurs and beat Chelsea, he's going to really believe that we can win the league. The only thing I will say on that, it'll be us to lose. It'll be ours to lose. Because I think if you are 7 points clear, no matter who you are, and you've had £1 billion spent on a squad, then it is yours to lose.
That always has to be factored in, doesn't it? It's just because it's a new season doesn't mean you can't factor in all of these stuff. Like, exactly. It's a valid point. And it will always be a criticism of this guy until he starts winning stuff. You just can't escape
that's what it is. Like I was saying it on Rashid's that when they say you can't take in the previous seasons, like I said, this guy sat beside Pep when Pep was at his best at City, when they went on monstrous runs every year after Christmas. So he saw him rotate, and he saw why they went on monstrous runs every year after Christmas. So it's not about him learning to rotate. He refuses to rotate.
Exactly.
So when we say this and people say, well, you just keep going on about injuries and making up injuries, like Addo said, making up an injury about Calafiori would be saying that he has an injury he doesn't have. We are going by fact that the Italian manager said that he has a problem with a hip and that your own Lord and Savior then said in a press conference he had several injuries. We also know from, again, your Lord and Savior that he didn't train that week. We know he didn't train the week before. That is an unfit player. The fact that Fabrizio came out with a tweet perfectly timed right before the game to say that Calafiori's fully fit made me think even more so that he's not. Because why would he release that? He had no reason to release that. We've seen what this guy does. He is on the payroll. So when we talk about rotating players, we're not looking for something to go wrong or a reason to get at this guy. We are going by the fact that we have 100 odd years of football experience between us, and we know that in the modern game, if you don't rotate and if you run your players into the ground, you fall off after Christmas every single time. So I don't want you coming back here in 4 months and going, oh, well, you're happy now, are you? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying it'll happen, but I'm telling you right now, there's a massive, massive chance that if this guy doesn't start rotating and using common sense, we will fall off at some point in the new year. It's just a matter of fact. It's just if we are far enough ahead that the fall off, we stumble over the line. So we are just trying to
players.
we're just trying to look out for best for the team. That's it. We just want what's best for the team.
It's natural, right? They're not machines. They will fatigue at some stage, right? And by that, obviously, mean you're coming into a Christmas period where you're playing games real thick and fast, absolutely thick and fast. We're in obviously the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace. If we get through to that, I don't know when the semi-finals played or the first leg of the semi-finals. Should we progress? Of course. So it might not be. I'd presume it'd probably be some stage in and around January, because the Cup's obviously, I think, somewhere in March. So there's added games there to play. Obviously, you got the culmination of the Champions League. Then you've got thick and fast Premier League games here, there, and absolutely everywhere. Some tricky away ones as well for us to add into that. When you carry on playing the same players and not rotating anywhere near adequately enough, it's only a matter of time. They are not robots. It's only a matter of time. And each one of them will have a different stage. They'll have their own little line that it takes to break. But if you carry on overplaying them guys, they will break down, and in numbers as well. It won't just be one or two of them. And what happens then if you go to, let's just say for argument's sake, an Aston Villa away, and you've been absolutely rinsed for 5 games, and you've flogged out these players, and you've got 5 of them. If 5 of them are tired and not playing at 100%, they're not going to play to their best ability, and that's what's going to cost you games. And Aston Villa, a fully fit Aston Villa side against an unfit Arsenal side. Tala, we ain't winning that game. You'll be bloody well lucky to. Things will have to go your way, left, right, and centre. You need fresh legs, not just to come off, but to come back on. It's a two-way street with that, with a rotation. You're giving someone in minutes in their legs and all. Look at our subs bench. Who's got minutes? Let's just say Norgard actually weren't the steaming pile of crap he is. Would you trust him to come on? Yeah, he's played a couple of minutes all season. He's not even ready. Not even Waneri. He's a golden child. Not even ready. He's got no minutes in his legs. Max Downman, no minutes in his legs. Ainsley went to Miles Lewis Skelly. I do it all the time. No minutes or not adequate minutes in their legs. We've got a defend basically a whole bench that are crying, please give us a chance, and probably got a whole first 11 going, fuck me, please give us a breather. Well, why can't you merge the two? It's called a substitution. And you can wait until earlier than fucking 92 minutes to do it. I just think with this, as a manager, this part of in-game management is probably one of the easiest facets of managerial. That's got to be the easiest bit, right? We're 3-0 up. We look like we're going to absolutely cruise to this game. They're offering nothing. There's 20 minutes left. Why the fuck is everyone still on the field? That, to me, is not groundbreaking comments. That is probably the most basic of decision you'll ever make in your entire life as a manager, whether you're the best or the worst. Why is he not doing it? Like, the thing is, what I mean? Because go on, Lums.
No, I'll say the thing is that in that situation where you're seeing that's breeding a lot of confidence for those players coming on. So you're freeing it up. They, as I said, Spurs were offering nothing. You're going to bring these guys into a positive situation, right? By bringing them on, getting half decent minutes in their legs, as you said, because that is very important. 2 minutes here, 3 minutes there, it's not going to do it for them. Because what it does is these guys train together. So they know the system. They train every day together. But now match day is a lot different to training, doing the training. So get these guys on the field, get them, where they're in the atmosphere. And that would have been an absolutely brilliant position to do that. And every game is different because the Sunderland game, where we was on top, it was a pressurized game. They were on top the first half. We then take over, we equalise, we then go 2-1 up. This is the time that you now put, your foot on the neck and say, right, let's take them now. Because now they're retreating and sitting back. That's when you bring on your players, your attacking players, to just finish the game. Because now at this time, they just look around at each other. But no, what does he do? He waits to the 88th minute and then brings in the defender. And then we sit back, and then lo and behold, we end up, and people say, oh no, it wasn't a wrong move that he did. It was a wrong move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so in that situation on Sunday, where we're in a very great position, players coming on, they're going to be coming on with a bounce. Do you know what I mean? They were coming and putting a good performance. I could not see any of those players that he was going to change was going to turn the game around and say, oh my God. I'm not saying to start them, because at the end of the day, you're going to start your best start 11. But when you have an assailable lead like that, and the opposition is not offering you nothing, that's when you bring them on and give them a 15, 20 minutes there. You've got
it's
to
not only that. Ethan Nwaneri's crying out for minutes. That's if you're gonna get Ethan Nwaneri, where there's talk about going out on loan and everything else, that's the game that you bring him on to give him some minutes, to give him some confidence. Yeah. You're 3-0 up. That's the opportunity you do give these players. And you say, right, come on in, Saka, off you come. Go on, Ethan, on you go. Show us what you can do. He might have popped in with a goal for how bad Tottenham were. Can you imagine the confidence that would have given him?
DJB, to just quickly jump in, Eze scored his 4th goal on the 76th minute, including extra time. That's 18 minutes.
Yeah,
18 minutes. Give someone an opportunity.
You could have bought on Nwaneri at 4-1 up. You could have bought on Nwaneri on the 76th minute. That would have given him at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, and he would have pulled out.
To go and score and to get his confidence up. And again, because
it should have been on the 47th minute, though, DJ, when we went 3-0 up. That's when they should have made the changes.
Oh, yeah. But Aaron just said even...
Yeah, I know. But I mean,
but Aaron just said that even when we were 4-1 up, he still had enough time to get him on. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say, and I just don't get it, because he's going to need to rely on these players at some point. At some point in the season, he's going to have to use Nwaneri for one reason or another. He's going to have to use all these players at one point in the season. I'll give you an example tonight. Everton down to 10 men defending for their lives, and he's making four substitutions. Yeah. He's not keeping his key players on. He's taking players off and bringing players on, and they're 1-0 down, and they're 1-0 up defending. It's just like, that's the only criticism I had on yesterday's game. It wasn't about the result, wasn't about Eze, wasn't about our individuals play. I didn't want to get into the tactics or anything like that. All good. It was just the substitutions. I just can't understand why he's risking blowing a Premiership title, a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, a Champions League, whatever you want to call it. Why is he risking that? Because I'm telling you now, the lineup, if certain players go missing, is frightening. Seriously, it's frightening. And if you take Rice out of that team, you've lost probably 70%, if not more, of your team, really.
Yeah.
What he was doing again, man, when he sorry, Norms, to sort of cut in just before you come back. What he was doing again, winning every ball, when he basically covering every blade of grass. He was running forward with it, making passes, almost got himself a goal. He's turned into quite a solid all-rounder, isn't he? And he's really solid at everything that he's sort of doing. Obviously, with the set pieces, he's number one. To not have him in there, man, that would be a bit of a devastation. He's irreplaceable for this particular Arsenal squad. Sorry, I'll cut you there.
No, I'll just say that Shane talks about the famous 5. Now, and that's just the spine. Now, the thing is, as a human being, if you do damage to your spine, the likelihood is you're not going to be able to walk, right, or do much, right? So it's key that these players, they I mean, we've lost one of them, for a couple of weeks, or when I say a couple of weeks, a few weeks. So in Arteta's words, 2 months, right? So the thing is, he's got to wrap them, in cotton wool, okay? Because they're very important to the thing. Because as I say, you take any one of those out, and then you look up who you got to back up to them. Yeah, they're okay players, but they're not going to take you. For me personally, I don't see them taking you to that next level. If
Yeah.
Zubimendi comes out, if Rice comes out, you're looking at Moreno and Norgard. That's a massive drop off. I'm sorry.
Massive.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
Massive.
Massive.
You know what I mean? So he has to. He's got to look at that and say, right, I know that you're doing your business and whatever. I'm going to wrap you in cotton wool. Blah blah blah. You're in the red zone. I know you're in the red zone. I need to protect you, especially in games where you got an assailable lead. Take him off. Take him off.
It's not rocket science, is it? It just isn't.
It's an easy thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, as part of your coaching thing. If you've seen that you're doing well, take them off, man, because you got to be starting thinking about the next game. Because God forbid it. I think it happened to Gabriel Mangalese where he kept him on and then he ended up getting an injury and he was out for how long?
Yeah.
Because he could have taken him off, but he decided that. I think he came back on. He said, "Carry on playing," and then what happens?
Yeah.
He ends up getting a long-term injury.
And it screws you down the line, Norms, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It screws you down the line, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because we've been talking for 45 minutes now, and it's the only segment really, and it's not even negative, but it's the only segment that people actually take the top gooners out. But they're like, "Oh, what they moaning for?" Well, we're not. We're actually being rather positive, but I'd say that's a fair criticism. Do you know? But I think it's more than adequate. More than adequate sort of criticism.
Observation,
But,
it's an observation of what
I'm absolutely buzzing about the win. But it's an observation.
Are we only allowed to observe his terrible in-game management with rotation and injuries when we lose and draw? It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's still the same load. It's the same issue.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can't argue it because it's definitely a good point, isn't it? Yeah, it's undebatable. It's just fact.
But you're meant to be all, we're up in the clouds and where you don't ever try and bring me down. Well, you bring me down with your hyper positivity.
Well, Shane,
you know what I mean?
Good point, because I'll swing it another way. What happened, God forbid, if Declan Rice had gone down injured in the 80 off?
They blame England. They blame England
right?
for playing him.
What would they have said about the win then? Would they have said, "Oh, brilliant win," and not even mentioned the Declan
They
Rice
would have.
injury?
They would have. They would have said, "Oh, brilliant win," but why are you concentrating on that? Blah blah blah. They'd find a way. They find a way. But apparently, according to Big Hero 6, he can't get injured. So we're all right. We don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's an absolute brute, he is. You know what I mean? Injuries? What injuries? You know, that broken toe, don't matter. He played through it. Oh, yeah, that's coincidentally his worst bit of form for Arsenal.
Yeah,
what are we doing here? He keeps us playing with a broken toe. What do you think?
Some players are less injury prone than others. I'll give him that. But to be completely void of any injuries, he's back crap.
How stupid of a comment is that?
He can also get.
Well, no, he won't get.
It doesn't have to be an injury. It can be the fact that he's burning out after 60 minutes every game. You know what I mean? It can be tired decisions, like Gabriel's tired decisions against Sunderland when he was mentally and physically shattered in the last minute because he had played the whole match against Slavia Prague on Wednesday, and we said don't play him, and then he's mentally shattered, and we let in a goal. Oh no, that's not no correlation to that. Okay, then it's only how did I predict it then? You know what I mean? It's so annoying that you can see these things and then. You know,
it's crazy. But then you've got other players just as important. Timber, you take Timber out, you got Ben White at right back.
And he'll last about 2 games before he drops, and Arteta knows it.
Yeah, and then we got Gnome right back. Well, we've got Mascara there.
We said about the drop-off of bringing in Norgard and Marino, right? It is a massive drop-off. We know that, right? We know it's a massive drop-off. City's drop-off between Rodri and Gonzalez isn't that big. Or between Rodri and Reinders isn't that big. But that is a massive drop-off for us. But if they had some minutes in their legs and had played a couple of games here and there in the Premier League and come on for half an hour here and there and maybe even started at home to Leeds, then it's slightly less of a drop-off because they're used to the team and they got a bit of football. Now, the reason that it's such a big drop-off is Hincapié comes in and at the end of that game, he looked drained, man. 80 minutes gone. He looked absolutely drained when he came off. Why? He hasn't played. He's only thrown in for a game here and there because he got injured because of the training. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you look at, like, the one for me was when, number one, Calafiori started. And I don't mean to keep harping on about it, but as soon as we go 3-0 up straight after halftime, Tottenham are dead, right? They are dead. And not only does it make sense to get Calafiori off to protect him, you're also giving Miles Lewis-Skelly minutes. And as Norm said, rightly said, it's in a good moment. North London Derby, we're hammering them. Get in there. You're part of it. Make you feel part of it.
Yeah.
You also get minutes, right? There's that as well. But there's more to it. Like, it's also, you know, that you get to. It's about having the players ready then when the next game comes, that they've played a bit and they've come in. But it's also then, you know, because this guy we know will play the same 11 or basically the same 11 against Bayern. I know he will. He shouldn't, but he will. And then he'll play it against Chelsea. And then we have Villa away coming up, Brentford on Wednesday, and all this stuff. And if people can't see it coming, I don't know what to say to them. Really, do we have to wait for it to happen? Yeah. But the Hincapié thing, you know, like someone said, he looked capable. He did, but he looks wrecked. He looks right. Don't be surprised if he's injured for the next game.
He needs minutes. That's all it is. It's just the minutes thing, isn't it? And that's sort of why I used Norgard as an example, because he's nowhere near an adequate enough player to come in anyway. But he's not just an inadequate player; he's a rusty one.
Yes,
like that has just got self-destruct written all over it. That just has that has got bring him on, and he'll probably hinder more than anything. You know what I mean? You need to give these guys minutes, and that's been the only real sort of thing. I think largely, well, you know, there has been a lot to sort of say about, but really for me, it's that Mikel Arteta, you're in your 7th season, man. You're still not doing this. Why have you still not learned how to do this, man? But look, either way, it's just something we needed to speak about because I think it's absolutely fair. And as we said, to round that little bit up, it might not affect us now. Because some people go, oh, yeah, but no one got injured. So short-sighted. Yeah.
So can I just come in here before we move on to the next? The other interesting thing is just going back to what you said about what Negative Canton said, he brought that up about the fact that there was his nitpicking. It would have been interesting if he asked that question in the press conference, but is he going to do that? Oh. Yeah. Why don't they ask that question in the press conference then, the post-match?
Yeah.
You know, why did you take this personal? You know what I mean? He ain't gonna do it though, because bro, he'd be like, "Oh, get out!"
Yeah. You're never coming back.
Yeah, you're coming back, man.
It'd just be crying going back to work as a teacher, wouldn't he? Oh, my press pass.
It's just another example that he doesn't trust the squad depth. He don't trust Ranieri. Otherwise, why would you bring him on in like the 80th minute? He don't really trust Skelly. Otherwise, he'd have started him. So that's the worrying thing for me. We as fans keep going on about squad depth and everything else, but the bottom line is, the manager don't trust it. He don't trust his bench.
Yeah.
He don't trust
Otherwise, he would, wouldn't he? He would bring them on. And you
got
to feel for them kids, didn't you? You got to feel if you're Ethan Ranieri and you're Max down, and maybe not as much, obviously, a Max, because I'm giving it a little bit more because of the age thing, but more so because Ethan's had a season and not established himself, but he's put himself about. He's made himself known. He must be sat there thinking, you're 4-0 up against Atletico Madrid, and I've got nothing. This is Spurs. This could be maybe it is his first North London derby. I'll have to rethink off the top of my head. Might not be. But either way, coming on in front of his own fans, top of the league. What moment that would have been for him to have 15, 20 minutes to run out while they're all in a good moment. Could you imagine the confidence? And he might have even scored a goal. Look at all the pros to that then. So whilst we're being negative saying about you should be making subs, look at the pros to the said subs. You get someone off-rested. He's now not going to be injured. You've got a young lad getting minutes into his legs, getting experience, setting targets that he was at a kid. Do you know what I mean? Made my North London debut. You know what I mean? All of these things, maybe even score a goal. Just all around it. There's no negatives to that. Do you know what I mean? I just can't foresee why he don't do it. But listen, man, I suppose that's why we're not all paid 15.6 million quid. Because we can make the easy decisions. Time will tell.
Time will tell. Because the fixtures are coming thick and fast. So time will tell.
This is it.
They are indeed, and you know it's not going to wait for us. You know we need to be ready for them, and we've obviously got Bayern Munich next, and we've sort of touched on a similar thing of what I wanted to, or the avenue I wanted to go down, sort of anyway. And it's the importance of it. Now, look. I know every game's important. I want to win everything. I do get it. I do want to win every game. Would you say to me, would you win against Bayern or draw? Obviously, it's going to be a win every day of the week. But for me, if you asked me before the Tottenham game, the Tottenham and the Chelsea results were always significantly more important than this Bayern game. And I've said this for the last couple of weeks. And the only reason being for that is that we've got points on the table. In the Champions League, this is a game we can afford to have a little, slip up or rest a couple of players. We started 1-0 down as well anyway, because Kane will get a penalty guaranteed, 100%. So do you know what I mean? We're already pissing against the wind, didn't we, before the game's even kicked off? But when you're looking at this Bayern game, do you think he's going to take it seriously? And I know you've slightly alluded onto it, Shane. But do you reckon, one, he's going to take it seriously? He's going to go all out for it? Yeah, you do. Yeah. No.
Oh, sorry. No. It's a scream. Yeah, no, he will. He will. He wants to keep that clean sheet, bollocks. He wants to.
Gonna bring that
He
up.
wants to finish.
You don't disappoint, Shane.
He wants to finish top. He wants to. He knows that if he finishes top and then somehow blows the league and finishes second, it'll be progress, and the top Gooners will stay on. Like people always say I'm ridiculous for saying things. Trust me, that's the way his mind works. If you're on 15.6 million a year, you're thinking about stuff like that. Ways to keep your job in case things go wrong. Trust me. But no, I'd be stunned if he makes more than one change. I think he might make one, but it'll probably be like Martinelli for Trossard, or maybe he'll play Trossard up front and put Martinelli at the wing, something like that. But for me, I'd leave Eze in. If he wants to leave Marino up front, fine. I don't mind. I'd take Saka out. If Madueke, I'd give him a half, and then maybe Ethan the other half. Just sort of both getting a half each. I could put Martinelli in for a half with Trossard. I'd leave Eze in. I would leave Eze in because of the way he's playing. I'd leave him in.
Keep that momentum.
To keep that momentum, but take him off after an hour, say. You know what I mean? And I would change. I'd take Rice out. If it has to be Norgard, fine. Put him beside Zubimendi, fine. I'd change the whole back four. If it was me, I'd change the whole back four. If they're fitting, I'd change the whole lot of them.
Supermendy's supposed to be now the unsung hero of Arsenal. One of the
makes tackles that we don't see. He makes tackles that we don't see.
We shouldn't miss Declan Rice.
No, we shouldn't miss him. No, apparently he's making Declan Rice look better. That's what I heard. I heard he's making him look better. So we can leave him in there. But yeah, no, that'd be me. But I think he will go. I think it could be the same 11. I wouldn't be overly surprised if the same 11 start this and the Chelsea game, all three games in a row.
What would you
maybe
do?
He'll make one change.
That's criminal, mate.
But I don't. No, look, it hasn't happened yet. I just wouldn't be.
But we know how this Bundy man works, mate.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Saka plays all 90 in all three, if Bryce plays all 90 in all three, if Saliba plays all 90. This is what we do. But yeah, he'll take this really seriously. He wants this, man. He knows how to. He's not silly. He's pointed out his PR guys before, or his social media guys that check on what's being said, and he's pointed them out before in press conferences. There's guys that work for him to check what the mood is and stuff like that. He'll know that 80% of the fan base online will back him for silly things like the 5-1 trophy against Man City and stuff like that. He'll know that if he beats Bayern, who are meant to be one of the favourites for the Champions League, that'll get him months of praise. Well, we beat Bayern, we're unbeaten, we're this and we're that. He knows all that. If he loses it, and I said this, and I meant it, man, I really did mean it when I said that I would be more mad at him if he kept the same team and drew than if he made 6-7 changes and lost. I'd be more mad with the draw because of the Chelsea game. So I don't know. If we go into the Chelsea game, as Assemble's saying, if he plays all the same players, then he'd be even more tired for the Chelsea game. So it makes even more sense to rotate. This is what top managers do. You have to learn to find a balance. Sometimes it backfires. Sometimes you make too many changes and you slip up. It happens, right? Yeah. It happens. And someone said to me before in a comment, oh, you'd be the first to turn on him if he took out Gabby. And because I put up a post saying this Gabriel injury is not Ancelotti's fault. This is all Arteta. Oh, you'd be the first to moan if I said, no, go back and watch my stuff. I'm forever saying before matches, please change one of them. Please rotate one of them out. The famous five. I say it all the time, right? So I wouldn't get mad at him. But yeah, this is where it comes into, like you mentioned, all the pluses they bring these lads on. The pluses to rotating. They just far outweigh the minuses. Now, he could go and play the same 11 and win all 3 games and everybody hold that. But then at like 2 or 3 weeks out of the line, 2 or 3 players drop. You know, so I think he will play a full team. I think, well, but is taking Hincapié out for Mascara any different? It's really not. Like, you know, they both done really well. It's no problem. Is Brennan Lewis Skelly in for Calafiori that much of a drop down? It's not really. Is Martinelli for Trossard that much of a drop down? Form-wise, maybe, but still not really. It's not a huge drop. So there's 3 or 4 changes he could make. even bringing Madueke or Ethan in for Saka with the way Saka's
The
playing is
Martinelli Trossardi one, just
exactly.
quite straightforward,
there's
like for like.
5 changes you can make. The only one that will drop it a bit is taking Rice out, but to me that's essential. He has to do it. He won't do it. There's no way Rice isn't playing against Bayern. No way. But for me, he has to. He has to take him out from one of those games, and it can't be the Chelsea one. But we could end up playing full team all 3 games and lose a couple.
Yeah,
I'd rather
you said a point there, Shane. You said a point there, and I want to make a point back to it. It's not to counter anything you've said. You made a good point, and I want to add to it. You said about him wanting to beat Bayern Munich to lay down a marker, etc., etc. And I can see that on the surface as to why you'd do that. But then when you sort of sit there and think, and I know this isn't your opinion, by the way, we look at us laying down the marker against PSG in the league format 2-0, and look what happened when we played them in the knockout when it mattered.
But
so do you know what I mean? You're absolutely right, and I know, and I know you're not. This isn't your opinion, isn't it? But just for people to sort of see, all right, cool. You beat Bayern Munich in the group stage. They probably also equally couldn't give a fuck, by the way, because they know they're going to get enough points to qualify. So it's not as if they're going to be going home thinking, damn, going back to Germany thinking, like how this is going to ruin our season. They're going to be like, oh well, if we get 3 points here and 1 point there, we're through. So do you know what I mean? It just isn't that game. If we beat them, great. But I'm not going to sit here and thinking, oh, if we get them in the semi-final because we beat Bayern Munich 2-0 in match day 5 of the Champions League, obviously that automatically means we're going to win at least 2-0 when it really matters. That's what all the Agals and all of them lot done last year. All the Hookses and everyone like that. All of them boys were like, yeah, but didn't you see? Didn't you see? We bashed them up 2-0 at home, And then it's just like, all right, cool. Well, we'll do it this time. Well, we know we'll lose both fucking legs, and we won't even play anywhere near that because what it was resting on changed. What matters was getting to a semi-final or a final. Changed rather than didn't get 3 points here, but don't worry, we've got no worry about qualifying. It's a total different outcome. So what? I won't be looking around and going, if we beat Bayern Munich, I won't be somersaulting out the stadium. I'll be going, that was a nice win. That was all right, but cool. I want the Chelsea win. That's the one that gets me excited. That's the one that gets me excited. Yeah, we could batter Bayern Munich 5-0. I'll go, that was cool, but it won't really get my dick hard. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going to be totally honest, because it don't really matter that much, and that's sort of why I'm saying about it, Norms. It is that game where really you can afford to just do this resting and that game managing for a season. We've now got a squad, Norms, that is capable, apparently, of challenging on all 4 fronts, all 3 fronts, or whatever, however many bloody fronts. You've got to then rotate, which is why I've said this straight after the rotation sort of bit. These are the games where you go, do you know what? We'll let this one slide. We could still get a nice little victory, but we've rested a load of players. 5 players, like Shane named there. 5 players could have a nice little rest, not even bother making the journey. Stay at home, chill with your missus, do light training in the morning with the rest of the boys. Do that, have yourself a break. You've guaranteed 5 players that are in the starting lineup ain't injured, and you've given legs and minutes to someone else. And if Arsenal lose, all right, it won't be fantastic, Norms, will it? But I mean, we've got 12 points, and you usually need 16 to qualify.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, go on, sorry,
I think you got to look at the bigger. I think you got to look at the bigger picture. This is the key thing. It's not just a game in isolation. You have to look at the bigger picture. And the thing is, we're going for a title now. You're looking at the situation where, people say, well, no, we can't afford to draw that game or lose that game, but we've got enough points on the table, to say, well, okay, listen, if we drop points there, we've got a couple of home games and obviously a tricky game away to into Milan. But the thing is that it's not about getting your personal goals and stuff like that, and putting your own personal goals before really wanted to do what you really need to do, which is to get this team over the line and win the Premier League. So going into this game, make the changes. Stranger things have happened. Sometimes we're going to this game. If we've got the squad, as everybody's saying, to win on all 4 fronts, then why should it be a worry making these changes going into this Bayern Munich game? because at the end of the day, as I said, stranger things have happened. We're going there off the back of riding on a crest of wave. Yeah, these guys might go and do something. They might have something to prove. Do you know what I'm sort of saying? We just don't know. As long as, for me, what it is if they show and they give a good account of themselves on the eve of the night, yeah, especially with the changes, and we lose 2-1. You know, I'm not going to be, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. That's the end of it. As long as they give a good season. But the key thing is that you've rested your key players ready for that Chelsea game. Yeah, that's for me. I'm looking at the bigger picture rather than just that Bayern Munich game in isolation and trying to get one over them. Listen, I know we haven't had a great record against them. If we win it, fantastic. More for me, it's about the Chelsea game, because if we go and we go into that game and go to the bridge and beat them. Listen, the last couple of seasons we've drawn there, but I think we can go there and get a result. I really do think we can do that. And you know what players are going to be coming back, because you know we're going to probably hear a load of stuff coming that leading up to there's going to be more players coming back. Let's see what that is, and then we can sort of judge and see really where we're really at. But if he goes in with the same 11, and then he goes with the Chelsea same 11, all right. If we win both of them, you can bet your bottom dollar, because games are coming thick and fast. You've got a Brentford game on the Wednesday. You play the Sunday, and then you've got a game on the Wednesday. Yeah. So at that point now, players are going to be running on fumes. So he's going to have to make the change. And then that's where you're probably going to get the shock loss or something at home against Brentford. It's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. So he's got to, as I say, go back, key 5 people. Those are the people that he needs to protect. Going in these next 3 fixtures.
Yeah, now facts, and like I said, it's just all of that. Look, Charles, I don't really understand what you're not really getting. I mean, like I spoke for about 3 minutes solidly and literally explained the point that you're asking the question of, and then Shane had to re-explain it to you, and you still don't understand it. I mean, sometimes you just got to look in the mirror, my geezer. I mean, do you want DJB to have a go at and explain it to you as well? Well, basically, if the Bayern Munich game now was a quarterfinal knockout game, I'd be totally different. I'd be saying totally different words, because there's only one attempt at getting 3 points in the league, which amasses up to winning it at the end of the 36, and you can get 16 in this Champions League, 12 of which we've already got, and then you're through. Does it really make a difference? We see teams finishing first like Liverpool did, and they got knocked out early rounds. It don't make that much of a difference. These are the games where Pep Guardiola would look at and go, do you know what, beating Bayern would be quite nice, but don't worry, I'll tell you what, Erling, go on, sit on the bench, mate. Go on, Erling, sit on the bench. Go on, Phil, you're playing all right at the minute. Go sit on the bench, Phil. Well, go sit on the bench this, go sit on the bench that. Go on, Doku, have a little rest, and then Holland will go get 2 in the Premier League next week. Do you know what I mean? That's all about game managing. I don't understand why you can't get that. It's not going to be doom and gloom. Would I want Arsenal to lose? I'm not saying, do you know what? If Arsenal go and lose, then we can rotate players. No one's saying that. I'm just saying I would rather rotate some players in a game that means absolutely less, with less effect on the worst case scenario than the league would. Because if we lose to Chelsea, we're allowing other teams to be back in the title race. Numerous teams. If we lose to Bayern Munich, essentially it almost doesn't fucking matter. I don't understand what part of that logic people don't know.
If he wouldn't rotate against Slavia Prague, he ain't rotating against fucking Bayern Munich.
I mean, I'll reverse the question and ask Charles, what game would you rather win, Bayern Munich or Chelsea? Put it in the chat. Anyway.
Yeah, go on, Dave. Waiting there patiently, bro.
I think we've earned the right to rotate players with the best squad in Europe. I think we've earned the right. We've got 12 points in the bag. Our next game is Bruges, which we should win.
They're
having the best squad in Europe. Then we've got International away, which we should win. And then we've got a home banker in my book, no disrespect to them, Carrier at home. Yeah. So we've got 3 winnable games after Bayern Munich. So that gives you the opportunity to perhaps go, right, what squad can I pick to go and win the game and still get kind of key players rested for the big game coming up the weekend? Because that is why you build a squad. That is why you wanted all the players. That is why you spent £1 billion. So then you've got the fine pickings in certain games that you've earned the right to rotate in. So how I look at it is the game against Bayern Munich, and I'm not saying make like wholesale changes, but if Skelly, and again, I'll ask certain people in the chat, if Skelly came in for Calafiori, would you be unhappy with that? Is that a downgrade? Don't know one like Lewis Skelly at the moment, because Skelly last year apparently was the best left back in the world, according
Ashley
to some
Cole.
players. They were even saying that he was better than Ashley Cole, according to some supporters. So therefore,
Brilliant,
then I'll reverse it. If Skelly came in, who was better than Ashley Cole, and the next best thing since sliced bread, who, by the way, is an England international, so coming in against Bayern Munich wouldn't be too bad, would it?
And he's fearless.
Right?
He's fearless.
Skelly comes in.
Yep.
And then my next question was Madueke, England international, just coming back from injury. Start with Saka, get Madueke on at half time. Give Saka the rest at half time. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Because at the end of the day, the way this squad has been put out there as best in Europe, best in the world, best in the Premiership, world class this, world class that, does it matter what team we put out? It should be good enough to beat Bayern Munich at home. So I don't understand the panic. Get key players rested when you can. We've earned the right. If he picks the right team tomorrow, that should be good enough to at least get a draw, which will suit both teams, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, you're right.
I'll be honest, if
Either
it's
way.
1-1 going into about the 70th minute, I don't think you'll see much attacking from both teams, to be honest. I think the draw will suit both teams.
Yeah.
I'll make
Yeah,
you
I think
right.
it'd be too often.
Yeah.
I think it'd be too often.
It'll play
Yeah.
itself out. It'll play itself out. I'll zip my sleeping bag
Yeah.
up, get my pillow behind my head and have a little dip. Yeah, and it'll no facts, because it'll just, the managers will look at one another and go, and they'll go, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll make some substitutions and all of that. So it'll just play itself out. So listen, if we do get beat tomorrow, well, the best squad in Europe, whoever he picks, has been beaten. Then we've got to go and pick ourselves up in the next 3 games, which is doable, which is completely doable. So if Gyökeres is fit and he's been training, give him some minutes, because we're going to need him. We're going to need him. All these players coming back from injury, if they're in training, they're going to need minutes, because you are going to use them. You're going to use them. You've got, as I said, you've got Villa coming up, who's on form. You've got Brentford, who are no real mugs. You've got, Carabao Cup games. You've got Everton away that's just beaten Man United with 10 men. No game is easy. No games that give me in the Premier League. This is where a lot of Arsenal fans get out the tree. We've beaten Tottenham. Now they're thinking we can go ahead and beat every single person on the planet. No, that's not how it works. So Forest went and beat Liverpool 3-0 at Anfield. We lost at Anfield. Yeah. So, let's get things in perspective here. But going against the game against Bayern Munich, we've earned the right. Make a few changes. Whoever comes in should be good enough to put up a good performance against Bayern Munich. And then we can go fresh against Chelsea and beat them.
Yeah. No facts,
problem.
man. Big up as well to Lion Tex. Big up to you,
Big up,
brother.
Tex.
AJ the Mod. Big up, geezer. Big up, brother. Cheers for the raid. Appreciate it, my
Big up,
brother.
AJ, the
Hope
legend.
you are well. Yeah, man. Big up.
Yeah,
AJ
big up,
as
my
well.
friend.
So yeah, here's the fixtures. Obviously, we got Wednesday, and then we're playing on a Sunday. This, I just can't. I can't see how people think this. The Bayern game is more important than the Chelsea one. I can't work it out. I mean, I think it's very basic.
Not with a current point situation. It's still an important game, isn't it, Aaron? But because we've got 12 points, it's not, is it?
If we had 7 or 8 points, I'll be going, I mean, if we want to get out the Champions League, we probably need to be turning up here tonight. But you've got that points difference.
Yeah, no, I'd love to beat both of them. But like I said, the point I was making is that before the Tottenham game, I was saying if God came down and said you have to win 2 and lose 1, I'd say lose the Bayern game. You know what I mean? Because I think that's more recoverable. I think If we start stumbling in the league, we're getting chased by more things, stuff like that. But this is the problem that people can't seem to see. Like, it's all about emotions and runs and all. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. The Sunderland game didn't stop us. We went and beat Tottenham after the draw. That didn't derail us.
We got 10 games in the next. Sorry, Shane. I've wild cut you then. Go on, bruv. Sorry.
No. I'm just saying that there's so many games coming, and I'm glad you said it. There's 10 games coming in 1 month.
Yeah.
We can't fuck
10.
around. We have to rotate, man. You have to do it. If we don't rotate now, when are we going to do it? That's my point. Home to Wolves, fine, but he won't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying.
Look at it, December. That means obviously we've got 8 games. 8 games, boys, in December.
Look at that. Look at this.
But at home, going to be tricky, but you expect to win Villa away. Wow, yeah, that's going to be a battle.
Squad, Aaron, isn't it? This is why you build a squad up, so you can do all this sort of rotation.
Yeah.
Injuries are not risks, they just happen.
Okay, if they just happen, so if you're telling me, let's go from a mathematical that way this year.
They just happen.
Let's do this. Let's go from maths, right? Let's just do it. So if you play 40 times in a league and you start 40 games, you've got 40 chances of being injured on the football field. Right? That's fair enough. If you, I know. I'm just going to make it so fucking babyish for him to understand. 'Cause what we said was just nonsense. So by rotating them, even just in 2 games and not starting them, that's only 38 games then. So by literal logic and mathematical definition, you have reduced the work or possibility of injury. It don't just happen. Like, you can also, let's just presume that they do just happen. You can also reduce how often they happen by rotating and changing your lineup. Like, I feel like I'm talking to a fucking 5-year-old. I'm sorry. Like, mate, you're not even being disrespectful, but you're saying silly shit. Like, and then sometimes when you say silly stuff, you're gonna get a bit of abrupt silliness back, mate. I mean, like if you're gonna ask some basic stuff like this, I mean, how can you not understand a basic response? I don't get it, mate. Like rotating them and bringing them up and rotating, etc. By definition is prevention. How can you not understand that? So fuck it. What we'll do is, what's the point in having any more than 11 players? That's what we'll do based on your logic. What we'll do is we'll just fuck off 14 players. Don't need a squad of 25. Don't need no subs. We'll just go for the 11. Well, that's that. We'll just do that based on your logic. Fuck it. Yeah, we'll just run them all into the ground.
Yeah.
That is literally your logic. And now it's been said in a different way. How fucking stupid does that sound? Like,
why do you have a car service to prevent it from breaking down?
Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't get it. Like, this is one of the things where when I get in sort of debates with other things on other shows, I start to tire with it because I don't have the patience with it. Some people can just carry on and debating. I get to a point like now where I'm like, if this geezer can't understand fucking 12 simple points made by 4 different panelists, like, then I do just start getting the ump because it's fucking pointless. What a waste of my oxygen explaining that. How fucking more basic can you get? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, well, maybe you need to go back to school or something, geezer, man. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe you're not right. I mean, go speak to someone because you're not 100 up top, bruv. Either way, let's get back on show because it's done my head in a little bit, that. Wednesday the 3rd of December, man. This is going to be a tricky one. But again, Shane, another opportunity, I reckon, where we could rotate. You know, we don't need the best in business, because considering the next game we've got, Shane, Aston Villa away. Do you know what I mean? So there is scope to maybe keep a Declan Rice or a Timber, or, you know, even just a little something for that.
Yeah,
big
but for
game.
those ones, Aaron, we're only asking for one of the main players. That's it. It's not a huge thing. It's not a huge thing. Just one there. You can play the full team against Villa. You could rest 1-2 against Bruges, which isn't ezy, by the way. You could change 2 or 3 against Wolves. But all the other big games, Chelsea played a full team if you rest against Bayern. Everton away, I wouldn't even. You could play the full team there. That's tough. Palace at home in the League Cup, you can make changes. You know, this is all we're asking for. We're not saying wholesale changes all the time. Just a proper manager. Pep changes 2 players a game, minimum 2 players a game. You know what I mean? So And that's why he has these. And the evidence, the proof is in the pudding, Aaron. Apart from last season and his first season, including all his years at Barcelona, including all his years at Bayern, after Christmas, his teams go off on one every single time because he rotates. It's just the proof is right there, and we don't.
Yeah. I mean, you think if he was to even just get the first part of this month, like adequately rested, whatever, etc., like your hears for here, and then your hears and your hears, you know, you could then sort of be in good sort of mind to say you can start his full strength team against Everton because you've done nice bit of rotating in all these other games here, Shane. Then obviously you got a little cheeky Crystal Palace game. He's not going to play his first team in there, but you know you're going to rotate here. You probably could get away with playing your first team at home in both of them games because they're not going to be burnt out because you've done your business at this end of the season. Do you know what I mean? You're going to have your full team out in that game and not so much in that. You know, the games that are more difficult and present themselves with a bit more trickery where, you know, why do you need your first 11? That one of them might be carrying the 2 knocks at Wolves at home. You don't. I think we could probably, me, you, DJB, and Normski could probably start or come on as substitutions and not lose that game. Like, you know, let's be fair with it. Let's be absolutely right. And you know, all these other games, that's what I'm looking at. There's scope to rest and there's scope to rotate in order to maximise these games. In order to maximise these horrible games here. In order to maximise this game. You know, and then in order to maximise, of course, these horrible games. I think
Aaron,
that's fair.
Sorry, mate, if I just come in. I think what we're talking about is certain positions you can like for like. Like Skelly coming in for Calafiori is not that much of a bad rotation, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can understand Rice, Norgard, you know, perhaps people think, oh, hang on a minute, that's a little bit too. But do you know what I mean? You know, giving Madueke some minutes on the right for Saka is not that bad, is it? So this is what we're trying to say. You know, we're not even saying don't start with your best 11. Just be prepared to perhaps rotate them here and there, or start with Madueke on the right and perhaps Skelly on the left back. And then if it ain't going too well, then bring them on. But this is what we're trying to say. Just little tweaks. It's not wholesale rotation, is it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no one's saying, you know, when you know, in the Bayern Munich game, you've got to play half of the under 16s, and then you've got to play all of the players that haven't played a single minute for the first teamers in that game. Then you've got to make 8 subs here. No one's saying that. But we're saying that that's absolutely something that this manager needs to sharpen up with, because in-game management is one of the crucial things a manager needs in his arsenal, pardon the pun. They do. And the managers, and I say this time and time again, the managers that win stuff are the managers that get things right more often than not. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Mikel Arteta does not do that. And he's got track record of trophies to prove it. For me, that's inarguable. I don't know, but, you know, we'll obviously have to wait and see in January. You know, go on, Shane.
Sorry, Aaron, but you know what it is? What and DJB made a point there about like bringing in Lewis Skelly for Calafiori. No, it's not a step down. Some would say it's a step up, right? You know, I mean, that's how close they are. It's not. But the thing is that not only then are you resting Calafiori, you're lowering the risk of him getting injured. You're lowering the risk of Lewis Skelly being cold when he comes in, because if Calafiori gets injured for a long time, well, then Lewis Skelly has to come in and play 20 games in a row, and then he'll get injured because there's no one to rotate him out for. So it's common sense, and it shouldn't have to be explained, but sadly it does have to be.
Talking about common sense, though, we're going to a guy with absolutely none. Big up to Stooge. But first, you know what? No. Ladies first. Sorry, Stooge. Big up to the legendary, world-class, the magnificent, wonderful, beautiful person inside and out, Mrs. Stooge. Big up to Mrs. Stooge. Absolute, true, proper person that is. And then Stooge. Big up to the guy who makes a Happy Meal cry. The tadpole midget, Adam. That will be me. The peasant, Mary Poppins, looking Sean. That'll be him. The legendary gentleman DJB. That'll be him. the invincible bouncer. Oh, there we go. We go that side. That'll be Normski. And the amazing chat to the right-hand side, as always. And he's saying, hit the likes and subscribe. Big up to you, Suge, man. Thank you very much. But more so importantly, thank you very much for the missus, because I'm sure she probably funded it. So thank you very much to her, because I'm sure she wears the trousers as well. So big up to her. And big up to yourself, Suge. You absolute superstar of a man. Always appreciated.
And big up to Suge as well. Big up to Suge as well. He does deserve a massive amount of credit, and we haven't actually congratulated on him. He has very, very quickly gotten West Ham out of the relegation zone. So big up to Suge, man. Big up to Suge, man. He got them out of the relegation zone. So fair play to Suge, man.
Do you know what? Do you know what it is? I reckon at first when he went to West Ham, he bit off more than he can chew, and he just took it out on us, didn't he?
Maybe,
so I can see these chats getting a little bit nicer now. West Ham doing her a bit better.
When he was on your channel and I put in the super chat and did the same to him, I could just see his face. He just knew. He knew. Yeah, he's got me there. He's got me there.
Yeah, that was funny. That was when you put that in. Yeah. So how does it feel on the other side?
Yeah, just for that, Sean. Oh, here comes Suge now. Oh no, Suge, man! I congratulated you. I don't know what I mean.
No, he didn't. Honestly, what he wrote in the private chat here was ridiculous. Honestly, don't listen to him. He's lying to your face and saying something else on here. He's being nasty. Take the shine off of me. Have a go at him. Have a go at him. No, big up to Suge, and of course, big up to Miss Suge.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. And big up to everyone in the chat as well. Don't forget the guys' links are pinned. And if you're not going up and subbing to the geezers, come on, what we're doing here, man. You probably already are, which would be fantastic. If you're not, come on, do the brothers a favor. And for me as well, smash a cheeky little like on the screen. If you're not subscribed here, give us a cheeky little subscribe as well. And if you don't, no worries. There's no gun to your head. But it'd be greatly appreciated if you did. What we're saying here, let's just come to a little bit more to chat before we ever so slightly move on. Oh no, do you know what? Actually, I didn't even realize we had a couple more come in. I do apologize. Dash Comrade, big up to you, man. Thank you very much. What are we saying? I would hope that Arteta can out-tactic Vincent Kompany. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's been twice as long in the job as he. Well, maybe not twice as long, but definitely longer. If you're factoring in his time, obviously, in the Championship. Plus, then you could also factor that he's been at a higher level for longer. Some say, and he's got less trophies. Some say that we have the best squad in Europe. ... Do you know what, Conrad? Big up to you, bruv. And you point out as a fact, some say that. But when you start narrowing down the people that do say that, and then you start going into more depth of the caliber of brain them people have, and the caliber of knowledge that they have towards this football club, and just the caliber of character, the lack of everything else they get, you probably come down to a nice little niche of people that have been on AFTV, that are absolute errors. They don't know what they're talking about. We've got one of the better squads in, if you want, in my opinion. You didn't ask for it, but I'll give it to you. Because I'm like that. I'm a nice guy. We've got one of the better squads, absolutely for sure. You don't, you should kind of have after 6 years and £1 billion spent. But yeah, some say we have the best in Europe. Only the morons say things like that. The best, as in number one, the best. Yeah, only people that want to grow their channels by beggy, likey, clicky bitches do things and say things like that. That's all they do. Look at me. I'm positive. Come over with me. Come with me. I'm positive. It's gonna be glitters and sparkles and sunshine.
Ruben Amarin.
Yeah, Ruben Amarin. Rubble on the
geezer, man. That geezer, honestly, what he was coming out with today.
Big Hero 6, man. That guy is such a clown.
No,
yeah.
Ruben
I'm
Amarin.
sorry. He's No, I'm sorry. I can't do it.
It's just all big statements to get noticed.
Many that get
and
to these ones.
Do you know what make you laugh? Is they'll go, "Oh yeah, you do it. You're all negative just to get your things shown." It's like, don't worry. Everyone on this panel is charismatic enough to be able to lie to everyone's faces and be a top gooner. We just aren't cowardly and we've got a bit of self-respect enough to actually tell the truth and say how we feel.
It's really simple.
Zippy, zippy.
Oh, come on. Oh, it's not on your channel, is it? Where's the video?
Go drink a beer and relax. Go drink a beer and relax. I'm actually in the process of writing. Well, I will write to him. But the only way that Zippy can drink a beer is if he pours it onto a fucking tray first, man.
Oh, yeah.
Fill it.
There's that.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, he has to pour it onto a tray.
As long as it locks on either side of his mouth, and it tilts it up.
Oh.
Look, I
Tell you
don't even
what.
need hands to drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some mouth. I'm gonna do some mouth weights as well.
Oh, that's
dear.
I just,
Oh, dear.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, you'll find Ash, my friend. You'll find that the people that are so disingenuous that would want to say things genuinely to grow their platform of lies. They'll be the ones that say things like that. The real people that will tell you, just like what I just said. Yeah, we've got one of the best, one of the better squads for sure. Absolutely, we can be in the conversation of a top 10 or maybe even a top 5 if you was to sit and think about it. I don't know, but I think that's fair to say. What I think is absolutely nonsensical to say is we've got one of the best squads in Europe and not one of them's won a fucking thing. I think that's batshit. They're a group of fucking losers, really, until they win something. You're not a winner until you win something. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do for this squad to be but we're in a good place. Look, having said that, do you know what I mean? We're in a better place than we was when he took us from the depths of hell that he put us in, by the way. Big up Lynch. How are you doing, my brother? And he's going, plus we have Brentford that Wednesday after. Big ups. That Brentford game Wednesday when we've got the peasant Sean coming over to stay at mine. Boom. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to meeting Shane, having a shake of the hand. Yeah, he's gonna piggyback me to the stadium. He is. I'm gonna sit on his shoulder for the game.
I'm just picturing it now. Yeah,
just like that.
It'll be even.
I'm gonna have one of them little wind fucking helicopter things, isn't it? Woo, with a little lollipop. Woo. Thank you, Shane.
Can you put me down, Shane?
Put me down, Shane. I'm just clicking. Put me down. Aaron want downsies. Oh dear. What can you do if you can't take the piss out yourself, eh? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's it. We got you got Brentford that Wednesday. That's it, Lynch. The games are coming thick and fast, aren't they, my brother? But hopefully you're doing well, my man. Always good to see you in the chat. Absolute geezer. That's what we want, man. We want the real ones in the chat. I feel like I'm gonna pay for this one. So go easy. What's he saying? So I thought about my membership and not dropping super chats. So Adam and Sean. Then I see how they try. I should have waited for Shane for this one. Hold on.
Charity service.
Oh, nearly snorted on camera then. That's funny. Well, here is my charity service. Thanks. I was more doing things like that, buying sort of nice decorative things for the channel with it. But apparently we need to be adequately clothed because we look like job seekers. Thanks, Suge. Thanks, mate. That's excellent. I'm sure Shane will like it. Shane does look a little bit job centre-esque if I think about it, actually, doesn't he? Where is he? He has got fucking universal credit written all over him. Where is he? I don't know. Of course, he's gone at the exact right bit. But let's get a couple more comments while we wait for Shane, because I'm sure he'll be amused by that. Big up to everyone that's in here as well, man. It's always a pleasure. We've got Hendo as well in the building, man. I've met Endo. I had the pleasure of meeting Endo a couple of times. He's an absolute geezer. What a guy. Then we were saying we got a bit of Lynch. We know we got fucking Suge in the building. Here we go. Here's one of the faces, man. How you doing, bro? Nicholas, man.
Nicholas Ferres, yeah. Big up, my friend.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
He's probably away working again.
Oh yeah. What do you work as, bud?
No, he goes off on nights, so doesn't he? Or he works. I mean, he does. He
double grafter. Good for you, mate. Good for you, mate. Get the dough up. Do all of that first, and then you'll be crawling in the old cheekers. Unless you already are, then good for you. What we're saying here, we've got Black Crow. I've been seeing you in a lot of my chats recently, bruv. Big up to you, man. How are you doing? Big up to you, legends. 100%. Let's go through it next couple of weeks. Exactly. And do you know what? I made a little point. I made a little point, and I sort of said, this was prior to the weekend's action, right? And I was like, if we can just match Manchester City's point total up until just January the 1st, I think then we'd have a good chance, you know, because I looked at their fixtures, looked at ours, and I thought, wow, you know, I bet you Manchester City fans have looked over in the fixtures and gone, this is where we catch Arsenal here. You know, considering they've got a lot of promoted teams at home, they haven't really got a tough fixture schedule at all. Now the Newcastle game's out the way, and thankfully they lost it. They definitely would have been looking over at us, and if we can match their total, we can come in even still 5 points ahead come January.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the key thing, guys. We've got to come out of that Christmas period still ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I'm not
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can't do what we done, boys. And this is why, as well, I'm going to praise Mikel Arteta included with it as well, by the way. I've always said on my streams, we lose or drop points in clusters. And by that, I mean, let's go back a couple of seasons ago when we was challenging for the league in that 22-23. 2-0 up at Anfield, 2-2. 2-0 up at West Ham, 2-2. Then the Southampton draw. Tala, 3 games in the trot. Bye-bye, no title. Then you go to the league after. Exactly. And then get up. Yeah, well, that was a shower of you know what. And then you think the next season after, we was actually top at Christmas, so it's relevant to the point that we're making now. We were top at Christmas Day. Oh, we're Christmas Day champions. There you go, got our trophy. What do we go and do? Lose 2-0 at home to West Ham, and then we lose away at Fulham. Bye-bye, 5 points behind come New Year's Day. That's how quickly it turned around.
That's how it changes. We'll have to. Massively. It's a must. It's a must.
It is, yeah. And I think for Arsenal, considering we haven't got, you know, the experience of being able to get it over the line, I sort of think it should be little targets, little goals. And by that, I mean, get to January and see if you've matched Manchester City's points. Because they'll be devastated if we do, by the way, because the fixtures that we've got compared to theirs, they'll be gutted if in the next 8 or 9 Premier League games, they haven't caught up with us. They'll be like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, Arsenal are actually looking like the real deal here, aren't they? And that's the whole angle I want to get at. So then you think all right, get to match day 30. Then from Christmas, from New Year's, get to match day 30 and be in control of the title race. And then you've got that little run-in of 8 games. And then it's all down to you. Do you know what I mean? How well you handle all of that pressure. El squeaky bummo, Timo. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's all about. Just little achievable targets I want to see us go to. And, we don't know, how it's going to go. It's going to be a long season. We're still in 12 games in. That's why it's all calmer on our end. I'm interested. Of course, I'm hopeful. But I'm also scarred. I'm also very much scarred. Shane, I'm quite keen to it's for both of us, by the way, not just you, but I felt like I'm not taking the brunt of it. It's a huge super chat. And I'm going to let you take the other half. Here, look, listen, this character, look, So I thought about my membership and not dropping super chats to Adam and Sean, but then I see how they dress, and well, here is my charity service. It's basically calling us homeless bums. But then I thought, well, to be fair, right, it's probably a little bit more your end than it is mine, Shane.
Don't know about that, man. I am a sharp dresser, man. I am a sharp dresser. I've got a walk-in wardrobe, man. You know what I mean? I'm all about the clubber. I'm all about the clubber. Don't you worry, man.
What? We got walk-in wardrobe. What? So I'm a peasant because I haven't got the space for a walk-in wardrobe. Is that right? Is it?
You can easily have the space for a walk-in wardrobe.
This is walk-in wardrobe snobbery, like biblical proportions. This is ridiculous.
You could have a shoebox as a walk-in wardrobe, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is what you don't need. This is what he wants, Shane. This is what he wants.
A regular wardrobe is a walk-in wardrobe for you, man.
Mate, this must be a fucking mansion that I live in then. Jesus Christ. Love it. But yeah, look, listen, he wants this infighting. He wants the infighting.
I need space for all my wigs, man. I need space for all my wigs. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well, it must be in the second walk-in wardrobe, You know what I mean?
The walk-in wig robe, man.
That's the spare one. Yeah, the wig robe. Yeah, the walk-in one. That's brilliant.
But he's turning us against each other. That's what he's going for, man. You know what I
mean? Civil war.
Yeah. That's what he wants. Suge is He's just a tactician. He's an evil man when he wants to be. He's
Evil
a
genius, man. Evil
he
genius.
is, isn't he? Yeah. Little Norb Cortex from Crash Bandicoot, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Just a little evil
Notice how me and
We don't
DJ B. Yeah, that's
we
what I
don't
say. Yeah, no, that's it, DJ B. Notice how me and DJ B are just sitting back and just letting you talk.
Yeah.
Giving you
But see
enough
what he
rope
did.
to
He
hang
did it
before.
on the retro show as well. He tried to turn the chat against me to sway it towards DJB.
By the way,
and it
you're
didn't work.
5-3 up, ain't you, Shane? We're going to have to sort that
Oh,
out.
is it?
5-2, 5-2, DJ. Don't be. Oh no, it's 5-3.
Oh, is it?
5-3.
5-3,
Oh,
5-3.
Yeah. 5-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you 3-2 down.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, I thought you were finished.
No, I
we've
was
got
3-2 down and I went 5-3 up. That's all.
we've got Chelsea next though after the Bayern Munich game, boys. And again, I'll reiterate a point I sort of made earlier that I want us to come into. Was that surely Chelsea will be a little bit, it won't matter too much, but they will be a little bit, oh, fuck's sake, Arsenal looked good, didn't they? And that's what winning 4-1 and, winning from some real conviction does to you. Are you a little bit more confident now? Might sound like a silly question, but are you a little bit more confident that the Chelsea game, knowing that we've just won 4-1? I know we got Bayern in there, but just take that out.
Yeah.
Were you a little bit more confident that we can beat Chelsea now, as opposed to if we would have fallen over the line 2-1 like we sort of all sort of expected? You going there with a little bit more chest, a little bit more hope, a little bit more expectation?
Every time you chalk off a win, it gives you more confidence. That's what it's all about, you know. And I understand winning streaks. They're all fine, well and good. What I find though is the bigger the winning streak, then when a team loses, a lot of the time then they stumble more. So it's all right to get a little draw here and there, whatever way it works. But we beat Tottenham. That's all well and good. The performance was good, but it's every win that you chalk off. That's what you're looking for every time you chalk one off. So you're going to be a little bit like if we had a loss to Tottenham or drawn, it's not about the momentum. People think it's always about momentum. It's not. It's suddenly then you're going, okay, now if we lose this, they're closer and they're closer and they're closer. When you have a bigger gap, there's just less pressure. There's less pressure when you have a bigger gap. So I am more confident. Someone asked me the other day, so would I take a draw in the Chelsea game? And I said, it depends. If he was to rotate for the Bayern game and then play a full team against Chelsea and we drew, I'll go, okay, I'll take that. But if he doesn't rotate and then we go there and draw, I'll be going, well, that's because they're knackered now. You know what I mean? So it depends. There's ways to draw. There's ways to draw. If we go there and throw away a late lead again, you know what I mean? I'd be angry. So look, it depends. It depends. I am more confident. I have been worried about this one for a while, but there's been games this season where I've been worried and it hasn't turned out to be anything wrong. So it is it's tougher than people are acting like we're going to steamroll this Chelsea team, man. You know what I mean? They made a hell of a lot of changes against Burnley. The same Burnley that we only beat 2-0, they beat them 2-0. Caicedo didn't touch grass. Their best midfielder. Their Declan Rice didn't touch grass. Garnacho and Estevao, the two form wingers, didn't touch grass. So they made a lot of changes, and they'll make changes again in the Champions League. So look, it's a tougher game than people are giving us credit for, but it all depends. A loss or a draw, it's just opened back up again, hasn't it? Because City are home to Leeds, Villa are home to Wolves. These are all the teams that are chasing us down. So you know it can suddenly look a hell of a lot different if we were to lose that game. And I'm not just looking for the negatives. I'm just saying that this is how quickly it can change. They'd be 3 points behind us. City be 4 points behind us. Villa would be 5 points behind us. And then we have Villa away. Like it suddenly changes. So that's all I'm telling people, just to pump the brakes a little bit, because you can suddenly see a big change. But if we beat them, it's the other side of the coin. Massive, huge. So I am a little bit more confident, yes. And I don't think we'll win. I really don't. But I think a win away to Chelsea with the form they're in will be even bigger than that Tottenham win.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with you. They are on a better moment, and I mean the league table sort of speaks for itself. They're looking better as well in terms of performances. They're at home, of course, which always makes a big old difference.
We don't do
so
well
there's
there.
So there's definitely a lot of factors, isn't there, as to why we absolutely have to be cautious, but. That's what, winning like that, it does sort of breed that extra bit of confidence. It's like anything. When you played a bit of snooker, or whether you played whatever at home, if you're giving someone an absolute convincing hiding, you feel a lot bit better. You strut around the table, didn't you? You have that little bit extra because you're playing well, and that's what I want with my football team. I know that we're not going to be able to smash teams off the park 38 times, but I do expect us to do it every now and then. And it hasn't been the case so far this season for Arsenal. If we're going to start turning it around now, all well and good. I'm happy for that. It's a nice time for us to hit a bit of form, or finding where the goal is outside of a corner. I don't mind all of that. I'm cool with that. But it's going to be a difficult test, isn't it, Norms?
Yeah.
It
It is. I mean, I think, let's say, coming out of this, the North London derby, you have a bit of wind behind the sail, and Chelsea, they can blow hot and cold, but I think if we go into this game with the right sort of changes and making those pivotal changes in the Bayern Munich game, so we're ready for this Chelsea game. I did say earlier on, and I'm not going to go back on my word. I do think we will go there. I'm just this confidence. I think we will go there and win. I know Shane said it'd be a draw, but I'm going to be super positive and say we're going to go there. There's a bit of momentum, and I suppose depending on who sort of comes back into the side, but there's always that little doubt in the back of your mind. Do you know what I mean? When we're meant to do what we're meant to do, we've got that little bit of a cushion. But if we go and win there, that's laying down a proper statement. You know what I mean? That's 9 points clear of Chelsea and whatever it is of Man City. But obviously, Man City have got a couple of easy fixtures, and that's where the pressure is going to be, because for us to beat Tottenham, because you got to remember, we thought that Newcastle haven't been good. Thought the best Newcastle would have probably got out of that game would have been a draw, but surprisingly enough, they beat them, and then everything seems to just start to fall in place. So it's a different kind of pressure now, because all of a sudden now we've now got to go and beat Tottenham at home. It's North London derby. Form goes out the window. In this case, there was no form. It didn't come from Tottenham. We just absolutely slapped them. So that was one, thing that we passed, exam we passed. Bayern Munich, as I said, we'll see how that all pans out. If we get a win, fantastic. But the Chelsea one, that's the one that we need to lay down a marker. As we go through the Christmas period, because I say the game's going to come thick and fast, as long as we come out the other side going into the new year, we're still top. That lead might have shrunk, but as long as we're top, we go again. I can't see us. Well, look, we might buy someone, but Berta might just throw a boomerang in there, and then next thing we got this player in there just to help us get ourselves in the line. So it's interesting times ahead. But we just need to take each game as it comes.
Yep. Feet firmly on the ground, innit, Norms? Big up, man. I totally agree. And D, to wrap it all up, man, Chelsea.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, Chelsea have got some good players. Let's not forget it. Caicedo, and they've got some top players. They've got a big squad, Chelsea. And they've got top players. And like all top players, if they turn it on the day, you got to be at your best. And if you're not at your best, you're gonna get beat. I said it all along. Every single game we play is a cup final, because there's no credit in the bank. Because the manager is basically last chance saloon. He's got to win. He's got to get over the line this season. Every game he plays is a cup final. The players have to perform to the max every single game. And this Chelsea game, you've got to perform to your max, because if you don't, they've got players that are going to beat you. They're going to hurt you. I can see this being a draw, personally. I can't see us going there and... especially after the North London derby, the Bayern Munich game.
How do you feel about that, D? If you get drawn, I know it can be dependent sometimes. You might get last minute draw or whatever. But
you need to win when you're chasing a Premiership. You need to go to your rivals. You need to go to your top teams that are going to be in there or thereabouts, and you need to go and get 3 points. You have to go and beat Chelsea, Man United's, Man City's, Liverpool's. All of these you've got to go and win. So what I'm saying is, I don't think it would be an absolute disaster if we get a point. I'd want to win, obviously.
Of course.
But depending on how the game goes, if we're on the back foot and we're struggling a little bit and Chelsea are at it and we have an off day, I'll take a point all day long. if we're on the front foot and we're battering them and we get a point, then I'm thinking it's 2 points dropped. So it's going to be a tough game. Not only that, Stamford Bridge is not the best of grounds for us recently. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, Sue just put this up, to be fair. Like, it's down there 3 of the last 5 at the Bridge.
Have
been wins and draws.
Yeah.
That the Chelsea team of the last few years, though, isn't this?
Yeah. Well, I get that.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I mean, it's going to be it'd be some interesting battles in midfield. And as I keep harping back, one of the things that they will do is play on our weaknesses. And one of our weaknesses is Zubimendi under pressure defensively. And he against the Caicedos and Enzos and all of that, he will be under pressure without any shadow of a doubt. So he's got to deal with that. He's got to deal with that. Calafiori will also be tested. Hincapié wasn't really tested against Spurs.
No.
He done what he had to do. He didn't make any mistakes. He done what he had to do. But let's be honest, he's probably under more pressure in training than what he was against Spurs. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be under pressure against Chelsea. So it'll be the first big test for him as well. And that partnership of Saliba and Hincapié, it'll be their first big test. So that'll be interesting. So it's going to be difficult. Can we win it? Of course we can win it. We can absolutely win it. But I just feel that this one probably will be a draw. I think it'll be a draw. I don't think we'll lose, but I just can see it being a draw.
Who's favourites for this, do you reckon?
Well, you got to say us.
Yeah, that's there.
Say us, would you? You'd still say us, obviously, taking away the good form of Chelsea, the home. Well, you'd still say us. Yeah, I'd agree, by the way.
Only because we're top of the league, and we're going in there top of the league. We're going in there with the, we've not lost. So but I think for me, it's not about favourites. It's about getting a good start and who can put their foot on the game early. Yeah, because Chelsea like to play from the back, we like to press. So, can we draw a mistake in them and nick a goal? However, they're gonna come and attack. See, how you got to look at it. If Chelsea beat us, they go 3 points behind us, and that's a big scalp early on in the season for Chelsea, because no one's given Chelsea any chance of winning the league, none. And then suddenly they beat us. They're 3 points behind. So, it throws it wide open. And then if we lose and City win, because they're at home against Leeds, and they win, they're back in it. So everyone can see all this. Most people just say, "Oh, we've beaten Spurs. We're clear. But one bad result, and the other two teams do what we done the weekend, where they lost and we won, and you're back in it. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough.
Yeah, but it's a good opportunity as well to put them out the title race, really, in it, because people are forgetting as well with Chelsea, and we hold the same logic to Arsenal, by the way. This time last year, and maybe even a little bit further down into the season, everyone was like, "Oh, Chelsea could be dark horses for this title." They were lingering around not too far off top, and they fell to pieces. So this sort of Chelsea side can sort of be got at. You never know really when they're going to crumble, because we've seen it before. I've always thought that they're a so-so sort of team. 1 minute you're going to get that's it. 1 minute you're going to get great. Next minute you're not going to get bad.
I think they can be got at. I think they can be got at.
Yeah, 100%.
Look, Sunderland went there. Beat them. But it's just I just hope Arteta. I just hope Arteta doesn't go there and try not to lose the game. I know it sounds crazy, but
I know what you mean. But can I just say one thing with Chelsea? They're going to be very, very aware that if we do win, we're 9 points clear of them. So
they're done.
This is their last chance of actually drawing a little.
Who's got the more pressure?
I would say Chelsea might have the more. I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? It's a,
if their aim is only top four, then we're under more pressure.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, surely it shouldn't be.
It's going to be a good game.
Like they should. Their aspiration should be to be going for it, but I mean, yeah, you're right. If they're happy to get top 4 as their cushion to build off, then yeah, absolutely more on us. You know, we got to be going there and winning titles with these results. But listen, man, we will wrap it there. Chat, man, big up to every single one of you. You get a couple of people with different opinions in sometimes. You know, it is what it is. As long as we can be respectful, and you know, sometimes you will get on my nerves a little bit, unfortunately, if you keep asking the same stupid dumb questions. But unfortunately, you know, that's part of life. You'll just be told to stop being among. But other than that, everyone else, thank you very much for turning up. Always a great pleasure. Thank you as always, and thank you very much for the panel to giving up their time. And any last bits anyone wants to say before we do sort of shoot?
No,
we all good?
Just all positive. Top of the league, beat Tottenham. Great stuff. Just think about using your squad. No more serious injuries. Let's put all that to bed and let's move forward.
I suppose now as well, boys, we can all go on Arsenal Direct and get Champions 26 Arsenal t-shirts printed. We'll do that backstage, shall we?
Not quite.
Take it easy, everyone, man. Out. Boom. Right.